Yes, people, welcome back to the One True Red podcast. And we are off with Aki, Craig, CeeTee, as he's always known, and Mikey. Guys, I'm getting beaten down by hay fever. Look at the state of my eye again. Look at it. But also our teams are getting beaten down as well. And we're starting with the beatdown at the Emirates at last midweek, where all of us on here, I think, except for Aki. Now, Aki gets a lot of stick on this podcast for his sometimes way out there views, but he did say it'll be 2-0 to PSG, and it turned out to be 1-0. So, Aki, you were nearly right.
It was obvious from the beginning. These guys over here were talking about who they wanted in the final. They had to worry about PSG first of all, and I did say PSG probably will go on to win it after they beat us. They had a clear run, really. Villa, Arsenal, easy teams. And then we'll see who they get in the final. But they've got a very strong team. I think they played the right tactics against Arsenal. And I think ultimately Arsenal bottle dropped it. I think they didn't really create that much, I don't think.
Can you stop there? Because
I don't think you did.
You can't eulogize about PSG and then say we bottle dropped it. It just doesn't make sense, does it?
You didn't turn up.
We bottled it. Which one is it?
You didn't turn up. They played well. You didn't get the free kick, like the fluky free kicks that Rice had against Real Madrid.
You're not making sense because you just basically said they had a free roll once they beat you because they had easy ties against Aston Villa and Arsenal.
Yeah. True.
Then you're saying Arsenal bottled it. I'm not understanding you, my friend.
I was expecting a bit more fight from the Arsenal team, especially after the Real Madrid game. I didn't see any fight there. It was like you guys just took the beating and thought, you know what, that's it. With the siblings.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you know what the score was?
1-0. Could have been 2-0.
Right. Why could it have been 2-0?
They missed a host of chances. Yeah.
Do you know the stats from the match?
I don't need to know the stats. I saw the game with my eyes.
You do need to know the stats. So we didn't miss 2 1-on-1s.
How about Well gives you the stat of how many points you've lost from winning positions this season?
Do you want to concentrate? You're a bit scattered. As a podcast, focus on one topic, and then you can move on.
All right, give me your view of the game then. What do you think? You're unlucky?
Aki, first of all, stop taking my stats. They're coming later, man. Stop jacking my stats. That's the first thing. Mikey, you said it in our group chat about missing 2 1-on-1s. I think you missed one. I think the second one was a good save.
Okay, so if we want to go statistically, because I know you've done some stats for later, statistically, in the match, Arsenal had 3 clear chances and PSG had 2. Arsenal had 5 shots on target and PSG had 4. They won 1-0, but we've got people in the pod suggesting they should have won by more.
I think they should have. I think they should have won by more, to be honest.
Why? Go on. Explain yourself.
Because the Martinelli chance was a good chance. That one, I'd say, probably should have scored that one. The Trossard one, I think it's harsh to say you missed that chance. It was an excellent save. And I don't know where else he could have put it other than where he put it.
In the goal.
Keeper saved it. So for me, it's a great save. And then there's the Barcola chance where he should have buried that. And then what's his name hit the cross? Ramos hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they hit any other.
No.
Like any other times. But no. I would say once it's 1-0.
I'm just asking you to explain like where they're racking up these goals from.
Once it's 1-0 and you're chasing the game, I think the Barcola chance that should have put the game to bed, but it didn't. So, and then Ramos after that. But anyway,
and before those, either way, had Martinelli and Trossard.
Either way,
this is a story.
That Martinelli chance wasn't a clear-cut chance. The keeper saved it. He was at an angle.
It wasn't a clear-cut chance.
No, okay. Not for Martinelli. Anyway, it's not like Martinelli's a banger.
In your head, it wasn't a clear-cut chance.
How many goals has Martinelli scored this season?
Stop talking over everybody. by definition of clear-cut chance, it was a clear-cut chance. Okay.
Anyway, let's stick with you.
It doesn't matter what you determine as a clear-cut chance.
Let's stick with you, Mikey. So obviously, we all predicted, except for Aki, predicted an Arsenal win. You said 2-1. You said it was going to be quite close. Craig, to you, because you said, yeah, fine, we're good. What was your view on the game, and where do you think it went wrong?
The first sort of few minutes when they scored. That's what I think it went wrong. I think that goal just shocked everyone, and it was a lucky sort of goal as well. I feel anyway. If we didn't concede so early in the game, I think it would have been very different. But I think that goal just took everyone by surprise. We tried to get in our game. We tried to sort of sit back and watch them play and maybe get them on the counter, but it really just didn't work. The missing Partey in that midfield was just clear for everyone to see. So I think the game plan set out. I literally don't want to see Merino in the midfield at all ever again. Just change yourself to a striker now, bro. We'll use you as a backup striker because he's just terrible. He's slow, just passing backwards. He's not seeing easy passes. So that in itself, I think the Partey miss was definitely key in this game. But as you guys were trying to make out that we got battered and no, we didn't. We missed some chances that guys at this level should be taking, and we messed up. We didn't take them chances. Now we got our work cut out to do in the second leg, which is I can't see on the back of the Bournemouth game, which is just totally just made me very angry. I'll use very choice words on this pod, but it's going to be a tough mountain to climb now. But going back to the game, we just didn't take our chances, and we'll learn from that.
Just what was so lucky about Dembele's goal, and why was Partey missing again?
Don't try and be smart. You know why Partey was missing? He picked up a yellow card in the last match. The goal, I would say, it was very lucky because it went through a couple of players, didn't it?
It came off his shin as well.
They come off his shin.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a clean strike. So it's very, very. You don't see them sort of going in all the time. So I think it was very lucky, a very lucky strike. But it was a good build-up play for the goal, but lucky strike. So what can I say?
And Mikey, you were confident of a win, but obviously didn't quite work out that way. What were your thoughts?
Partey being missing was key. I think with him back in the return leg, we've got a good chance of turning it around. Partey being out left Rice exposed in the midfield because Merino is, I won't say any other words. Rice played well. He got forward. He was able to create, and he blocked a lot of counters and made some interceptions, which were vital. And he was the force that we had in midfield. But as soon as he went forward, there was holes in the midfield. And yeah, positionally, we weren't good for their goal. We had enough players back, so we should never get a clean shot off, even if it wasn't clean and kind of scrambled into the goal. I just think that we started a little bit slow. And then when it 1-0, crowd down a bit, difficult to pull it back. And then they didn't really get up until the last 15-20 of the first half. And then we had a good spell in the second half as well. But yeah, this Krieg's a bit down in the dumps, but after the Bournemouth result, but I don't look at the Bournemouth result. I'll look at the Madrid result as an example of an away performance. And if we go there and do that, then we'll be through.
I say the Bournemouth result, Mikey, because we went strong. Well, I don't know why we went strong, because we shouldn't have. We should be resting. We need all the legs we can get in this game. And we went strong, and now the players are going to be sort of doubting themselves. They're going to be down because we didn't play well at all. The subs that he tried to bring on right late in the match is like, what's the actual point? And the crowd were down. So hopefully the away crowd that goes out there lifts the team. But everyone in the Emirates is just down at the moment, and that didn't help us at all going into next week's game. I think he should have made a lot of changes against Bournemouth, and we didn't. and I think that might actually affect us in the game.
What was our form around the Madrid games? I don't think we've been in that great a form for ages, so I'm not going to look on Premier League as an indicator. I'll look on when we need to turn up. We did in Europe, and we have done in European competition so far this season. Our away performances have been very good in Europe as well this season.
Yeah, Mikey, why do you think he went strong on yesterday?
I don't think he's not gone strong in most games this season in terms of who we've got. Saka needs minutes, maybe, why he played. We've got injuries, so Rice kind of had to play because, well, actually no, because Merino, we should have just left Merino in there and used his legs and ruined him so that he doesn't get to play.
He doesn't, yeah. He doesn't.
He could have gone weaker.
Even Lewis Skelly, but then got 3 left backs on the bench. Don't play Lewis. Don't play Miles, man. What's happening?
Let's not get into the left back. You still want to sign another one, mate. I think that the frustrating thing for me isn't the lineup he put out yesterday. It's the lineup. It's the substitutions that he didn't make in the game against PSG. Waiting until the 89th minute to bring on Ranieri when Odegaard's terrible and not doing anything. Odegaard was fake closing down. Like, he didn't get and make contact with anybody. He didn't create anything. He did a couple of scoops, which is nonsense in football. I can't remember him having a recognizable shot on goal. And so he's just taking up space on the pitch. If you're going to close down and press, you got to make contact with a player.
He's your key one, isn't he? He's like the trigger, isn't he?
He's supposed to set the press and make contact, but he was pretty poor. And then White should have came on for Timber earlier as well, because Timber was hobbling around for about 20 minutes before he came off. That's a joke.
Yeah. It's touch and go if he makes Wednesday as well, no?
Like, I don't care about him. He was getting roasted.
Craig,
he's getting roasted.
Did you see Ben White on the weekend?
Mate, Timber was getting roasted. It was Timber's fault that we conceded.
I'm telling you now.
All right. So let me just give you an outline of what Timber was doing, yeah? Anytime he got tight to a player, he was fouling them. When he that was if he could get close to them. And then he almost gave away a penalty.
Should have done.
Potentially. He didn't get out to the player, whoever it was that laid it back to Dembele, because his positional sense was terrible. He followed the player inside and inside to where all the other Arsenal players were, and he left space out wide. So, yeah, he was shocking. That's a light word for him.
We'll come on to who we think we should start. But Craig, you mentioned before we came on the pod that your manager said, Arteta said that you were running out of legs or something like that, to that effect.
Yeah.
Saturday. I was just looking at the starting lineup, and it looks like Saka played 86 minutes. Martinelli played 86 minutes. Both of you were going to start, you would expect, on Wednesday. So Ben White also played 86 minutes. So I'm just confused as to what the thinking was.
Saka
top 5.
Huh? Saka needs match fitness, so he should be playing.
But the other?
And he's off form.
Martinelli needs to play into some form because he's rubbish.
And to be fair, we put out a full strength team.
Any opportunity this guy
he's playing until he's good.
We put out a full strength team against Southampton though before PSG, so you've got to be fair. Like, it's not like what Arteta is a one-off. Other managers have done the same.
Yeah, but we're now chasing. We're chasing the game, man. We're chasing the game at PSG. Like, we need fresh legs.
So we.
No. My thing is he shouldn't have went so strong. Like, I get what Mike is saying. The key players should be starting because there's no one else to bring on. But you got Ethan sitting there. Like, he's not getting any minutes anymore. I don't know what's going on.
He probably needs it as well, Craig. Given how poor Odegaard's been, surely.
Oh, it's like
he won't play anyway.
He won't play. I know, but I don't know.
Listen, the only reason you can complain about going full strength is if you pick up an injury through going full strength, and by all accounts, we haven't. And so,
Or if you lose,
what's that do?
well,
the thing is,
the top 5 is tightening up, Mikey.
Arteta even said at the end of this
And
game,
We'll be in the top 5 comfortably.
You've got us and Newcastle to come as well, who also obviously chasing top 5. I'm just looking at it down to 7th. It's Villa on 60, Forest on 60 in 6th place, Chelsea on 63 now after beating us today, Newcastle 63, Man City 64, Arsenal 67. So there's 7 points separating 2nd to 7th. So it's tight, and some of those teams are playing each other, and you're playing us.
So then, what does that mean? That helps us if they're playing each other.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't see the issue.
Obviously, 7 into 5 doesn't go. So, I mean, I imagine that's the reason why he went strong, because he wants to cement at least 2nd place. But for me, it's a massive risk when it's not that important that you win against Southampton. I think it's a massive risk when you're chasing the game on Wednesday as well. I wouldn't mind.
Bournemouth.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
Similar area, but it's
Bournemouth, not Southampton, mate.
So yeah, definitely weren't Southampton. You'd have mashed them up. 11 points. I'm just seeing Southampton got this season so far. 11.
Hey,
shocking.
We play them every week.
Talking about Arteta, I saw a stat or something the other day which said by this season, Klopp had already won the Champions League and the league.
There's no point even mentioning it, Craig. I mean, Aki, because
there is, because
Craig is given. Okay, let me put it this way: Mikey's happy with Arteta. Craig is giving him 1 more season. That's my summary of where our Arsenal fans are. So
1 more season after this season.
Yeah,
Craig,
do what?
Gets the summer, gets to bring in the striker that we need. We gets to strengthen with the players that we actually obviously need. So he does, yeah. He's earned the right to have 1 more chance. We've got into the semi-finals of a Champions League here, 2nd time, third in a row. So it's not that bad when you look at the actual picture of it rather than game by game. So let's go again next season.
So you're happy with
I'll be like, if we're in the same position where we've got no trophies and nothing again, and it's the similar story, then I'll be on him.
Listen, at the end of the day, anybody trying to tear down Arteta is just stupid. He's finished 2nd twice. Let me finish. He's finished 2nd twice, potentially 3 times in a row. He's got us to the semi-final, which is the 3rd time in our history of our club. So when you look at the bigger picture, it's just stupidity to suggest that we should get rid of him. He's doing this without a recognised striker. Whether you say that's his fault or not,
it's his fault.
By all accounts,
I'm saying
it's the club. By all accounts, it's the club. By all accounts, we didn't want to go for Watkins, really. We were offered him.
You did not bid for him.
That's out there now. We were offered him by Aston Villa. We didn't go in for him.
You didn't bid for him.
It's out there.
I'm asking the question. I don't know. I've not followed it since January. So you didn't bid for him.
We bid for him after he was offered to us.
So you weren't interested.
So there wasn't an intention for us to go out and get him, because there was a query on this pod as to where did Watkins come from and why would we suddenly change tactics to go and get him? Well, he was offered to us at a moment when we were involved in a potential challenge. And so I'm correcting some of the thought processes that are on this pod.
But you also said that you weren't what did you say? You weren't interested in him.
I said that we didn't go in for him. He was offered to us. You know, there's a difference. You know, when you approach a club for a player, it means that he's on a list. It means that he's in your plans. It means that you want him. And it means that you may potentially, let me finish. It means that you may potentially go in with a 2nd bid or a 3rd bid to try and get that player. When you're offered a player, you might try a cheeky 40 million plus £1 and try and get him. But you won't go in any further, will you? And by all accounts, that's what's happened.
But isn't that
approach to transfers?
Yeah, for me, isn't that worrying though? Because
no,
you're not if he's not on your list, the fact that we could offer you Nunes, you're not gonna bid anything for him. Are you?
Then that's your problem, isn't it?
Well, it's not our problem if you actually bid for him and you
But
actually.
if you offered us Jota, it was for 30 million, then we might have taken him, and then you might be happy.
But I'm talking about Arsenal. If you
Yeah,
are not
so am I.
interested in a player, if you're not interested in a player, just because somebody offers him to you doesn't mean you should now be interested. Is basically
Opportunities come up, and this is what I said at the time. It was a January transfer window. There was no intention to go in for Watkins until he was offered. I don't understand what's difficult to understand about this point.
No, I'm not confused.
Like, there was a narrative being pushed. There was a narrative
confused.
being pushed that we went in for Watkins.
By bidding for him, that's
I'm
why
dispelling
that's
You did go in for it
because you bid for him. That's
No.
the reason why.
I just explained. You can be idiotic if you want. I just explained the
There's
whole.
There's nothing idiotic.
I explained the
about-
timeline.
There's nothing idiotic. I'm using your language, Mikey. You said
You can use it.
you didn't go in for him, but you bid for him. How does that
Yes.
even make sense? In the English language, how does that make sense? You bid for
We
somebody.
didn't go. I just explained what going in for somebody is.
Your explanation of it, yeah. But
So what's your explanation of going in for somebody?
bidding for someone.
Just bidding. That's
Yeah.
going in for somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for the viewers, I've explained what my meaning is.
Well, I don't.
And I'm sure the viewers can understand it. If you can't,
Sure. Guys, get us in the comments. Get us in the comments. You tell us what you think. Anyway, let's move on. What's his name? Watkins is staying at Villa anyway, so let's move on.
No, he won't. Clearly, he's not going to stay there if he's being offered out.
Well, who's he
And
going
he's
to
being
now?
benched.
Who's going to buy him?
Think about what's being happening.
Who's going to buy
So
him?
what? Why did Villa offer him out and then reject your bid? That doesn't really make much sense either.
What they wanted
Listen,
is
Below what? They bid
We
below
didn't
what
match.
they want.
Exactly.
Oh, so Villa tell you they want 80 million and then you come in and bid 40 million.
Yeah, because you offered him
that's
George.
stupidity in the highest degree.
Look
mate.
what's happened since.
It's not really. That's how.
Yeah,
that's
but
how,
what's the
that's how it
thought
works.
process? So Villa say, look, this player's available for X amount, and you guys go, all right, we'll pay half that amount.
Yeah, we said to them
Because
we're
we
not
don't
paying you
really
that
want
amount.
him.
This is the amount we're willing to part with for your player that you don't want. They didn't want it. We didn't want it. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, to be fair, that's part of the negotiation. So
negotiations,
you might
yeah.
end up in the middle. But anyway, let's move on. Let's go back to the PSG versus Arsenal. So obviously you've lost the first leg now. Let's go into what's going to happen on Wednesday. When you go to the Paris Saint Germain stadium, they lost at the weekend themselves. I did look into it though, and
Didn't they lose last time?
Huh?
Didn't they lose before the last game as well?
They did, but it's fair to say I think they started more starters that game, but it's fair to say this time they didn't at all. Only Barcola, and he's not even a starter, played. Literally everyone else, goalkeeper from 1 to 11 is people, half of them I've never heard of. So they rested everyone. I think Dembele I heard that he might be injured. I don't know whether that's just nonsense.
Fake news.
Fake news.
I thought so. So it's a tall order going to their ground to turn over the 1-0 deficit from the first leg. Again, as I said for the first game, I think first goal obviously is going to make a massive difference. I'm not sure. I mean, you're going to have to call on the spirit of the Bernabeu from a few weeks ago to get the result. I think the difference for me is that PSG are not Real Madrid, and I think they'll do more damage, especially with you chasing the game. But Craig,
yeah,
you're confident before the first leg. Are you as confident going into the second leg?
I'm not as confident, no. But maybe that's because I went to the Bournemouth game and I'm very down at the moment. But come tomorrow or end of tomorrow evening, I might be up for it again.
After a few drinks, yeah.
After a few bevies, yeah. We could. It's doable. It's doable. PSG can be beaten. We've seen it before, but whether our players, I don't know what sort of mindset they're going to be in, but we've got to go all out in this game. Like there's got to be no holding back. Just chuck everything at it and stop this trying to control, trying to let them just go out and just blitz them for the first 10 minutes of the game. Just go out there, get shots on target, and just control it. If we just sit back and try this game plan again of, we'll sit back, see how the game plays out, and then we'll counter-attack them and stuff like that, we're just going to get beaten in the first 10 minutes. If they score in the first 10 minutes of that game, it's over. So I want to see a different tactics in terms of the way we start a game, because the way we've been starting games recently not in Champions League, but in the Premier League, it's been atrocious. So I want to see.
What's been the issue? Is it being slow, or what's the problem with the start?
It's been pretty lackadaisical. It's been pretty slow. Let's control it from the back. Let's get it to everyone get a touch of the ball. Let's get it back to Real, and it's very precise in the way we play. There's not much fluidity. Even in the transition at times when Martinelli's free. I know this is not Mikey's favorite player, but when Martinelli's free, just give him the ball, let him run.
Listen, if Martinelli's free, I'm turning the other way as well.
He may actually run with the ball, you know what I mean? So we just got to take more chances. Got to be more braver, I think. Got to be more braver.
You think Arteta is going to do that? Because I didn't think. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think. I mean, you didn't need to with the. Obviously it was a different scenario. 3-0 up against Real Madrid in the first leg, going into the second leg, so you didn't need to do anything. You just sit back and play your game and then suck out the pressure. So
I don't think we sat back. I think we actually sort of matched them in terms
of.
No,
I don't think he did either. To be fair.
Yeah.
But do you think he's going to go all out?
I just think he has to. I'm not too sure if he's going to, and he probably still wants some form of control in the way that we play, attack, and build up play and stuff like that, and defend, and especially our shape as well, because he's very sort of on board with how we need to shape up in terms of without the ball. But this time, I think that goes out the window, man. We just gotta go for it. The first 5-10 minutes, PSG are not even going to be expecting it. Just go at them, please. That's all I'm asking is for us to just go at them. You've got the players there. You've got Saka there. That's hungry. Like, Odegaard's just going to need to put in a shift. Martinelli is going to be. He has to just start running, man. Just run blindly. Just run at your fullback. Do you know what I mean? You've got pace. Just use it, please.
Mikey, would you not think though? Would you not think though if you go out attacking, then what you said at the beginning, that if they score a goal in the first 10 minutes, the game is done? Then how does that tally up with each other?
At least we tried. Well, we're going to sit back and not score and let the game go on for the 89th minute for him to make a change because we're trying to get the game back. Just go for it, man. Like, come on. We have to. Like, PSG, we know what they're about now. We know their attacking prowess is probably the best in football right now.
I tried to warn you, Craig. Just saying, I did try to warn you, but anyway. Mikey, what do you think about the second leg? Do you think going all out is the tactic, or
no? Play as normal. There's no need to go all out. I think with Partey in there, it will be much more settled. There won't be the holes that were there at the Emirates. Rice will be able to get forward a lot more freely. They clearly couldn't handle Rice running through. Yes, they're good on the ball, but when it comes to legs going backwards, if Hakimi and Mendes are getting forward, there's gaps to exploit. They need to utilize Saka more, get the ball to him early, because they weren't able to get it to him as well as we normally can. Partly because of Odegaard, because he's the source to feed him. Neglect our left-hand side, and then we'll be all right.
Every pod shot at Martinelli. Leave the boy alone, man. What's wrong with you?
No.
Get behind the player.
Because you know what I've said? He gets our best early chance every game and misses. Literally. And goals change matches. Like, if he puts that in at that stage, momentum shifts, etc. The crowd get up a little bit. And yeah, he's annoying. He's not good enough.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a few weeks ago about transfers you might be making in the summer. So that's definitely one that both of you think might be upgraded on. But let's talk about the game itself, and let's have some predictions then. So I'm going to start with you, Aki. You were close on the first leg. What are you saying about this one? Let's be realistic, please. Let's be realistic.
I'm going to go for 2-0 again this time. I just think PSG are too strong for Arsenal. And I think Arsenal's defence, it used to be their strong points in the season have gone past. This season, Arsenal's defence has been terrible for whatever reason. I think there've been too many changes at the back.
Best defence in the league. But okay.
Well, recently you've conceded a lot of goals.
But we've had the best defence in the league. I'm just saying. Okay.
Well,
I think it's still the best defence in the league.
Yeah. Well, I think defensively you've been in the last month or two. You haven't been up to scratch, and I think PSG will stack you guys up at home.
Great. And Craig, what do you reckon?
I'm not going to admit defeat, mate. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
2-0, no PSG goals. Okay. And
who wins on penalties?
What?
We'll go to
Maths wasn't your strong point, was it?
Well, you said 2-1 to Arsenal, right?
No, you didn't.
2-0.
He said 2-0.
2-0. I had 2-1.
UEFA changed the rules, and when you win a game, it's now a draw.
I heard 2-1. I had 2-1.
Extra time. That's the new ruling. It was just passed this week, Aki. Yeah, thanks for that. Mikey, what do you reckon the result's going to be? Actually, no, I should have done starting lineup first. But anyway, let's go with that. What do you think the result's going to be?
Not sure. I think we'll win. I'm fairly confident. I think that PSG are still overrated. When you talk about them being the best attack, I think they've got some interesting talent, but I think Barcelona have got the best attack. So yeah, I think that we'll go through against them. I'm not sure what the score will be. I can't see us not conceding. So I think it will be more closer to 2-1 and an extra time or 3-1.
Okay, and then let's talk about starting lineup, because obviously Marino, I think you both mentioned you want him to drop out. I don't know how that then looks for your. I know it would be. No, yeah, how it looks for your starting 11.
I think it will be a straight swap Partey for Marino.
Yeah. And then is it Trossard?
Yeah. Trossard is the false 9.
Okay, and then what we're saying at fullback, Timber. You think it might be injured, so Ben White.
Timber will play, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to, but he'll play.
I'd prefer Timber over Ben White playing starting, to be fair.
This is what happens with
what I've seen live and direct from him on the weekend just wasn't. He's not up to
Did you see Timber against PSG?
I saw Ben White against Bournemouth.
No. Did you see Timber's going to be playing PSG again? The same team. Did you see him?
He's better defensively than Ben White. So he had a bad game. I'll give him that. He had a bad game.
Have we had a defender that's had as bad a game as that defensively? Not even Kirill.
Did you see Ben White on the weekend?
I don't know why you keep talking about Ben White.
It was worse. It was worse than the Timber performance against PSG. Okay, I was there live and direct. I've seen the guy. It was terrible.
So Ben White kept fouling. Ben White couldn't get near his player. Ben White nearly gave a penalty away when he should have.
20 minutes.
Ben White caused the goal, did he?
Every throw-in we got that Ben White was supposed to take, you might as well add 10 minutes on the clock. I don't understand it. Chuck the ball.
Do you? Oh, what? Wait a minute. Is that why you're annoyed with him?
No, he was getting roasted all game. All game was getting roasted. He was out of position. He was causing Saliba to clear all his mess up. Ben White is not ready yet. I know he's come back from a long injury. He ain't ready. Ben White cannot play against PSG. If Tim is
who was the
I
other
hope
against?
that Ben White plays.
Who was? You might as well be out then.
I hope Ben White plays.
Who was he up against on the wing at the weekend?
What's that?
Was it
Bournemouth left back? Atara, but they were switching. Cliver went out to him. Atara went out to him.
Is that Semedo that came on? That changed the game.
Came on. Forget about it. Semedo just ran past everyone, but Ben White is.
All of this, and we conceded from 2 set piece situations.
Yeah, I heard that. Was
Where
Timber at fault for the PSG goal?
100%.
No, he wasn't. Come on.
Huh? I've explained why he was. What's going on here? He ran inside when he should have covered his damn side.
I do not want Ben White starting that game if Timber's fit.
You said you mentioned set pieces. You mentioned set pieces. You mentioned set pieces, Craig. I think actually it's going to be key for Arsenal in this game. I think it'll be a tight game. I haven't actually said my prediction yet, so I'll do that now. I think it'll be a tight game again. I think Arsenal will score for sure. I would say PSG will go through in extra time is my prediction. I think it'll probably be 2-1 Arsenal. And that then means extra time, Aki. Yeah. You understand?
I'm pretty sure in the first leg you said Arsenal are definitely going to score, and they didn't score. So I'll take your predictions with a pinch of salt. Thank you very much.
Fair. No, absolutely fair. I reckon 2-1 extra time, and I think PSG will take it over the line because they've got the crowd behind them. But I do think it will be a closer game, and Arsenal still got a decent enough chance. The thing about PSG is that they will, because of their attacking play, they will give you opportunities to score. The thing about them, though, is when they do the pressing for as long as they do it, because like for us, when we played them, I thought, okay, we're getting battered here at their ground. And I thought that, okay, well, after second half, because we normally come into games in second half, they're going to tire and then we'll come into the game. It just didn't happen. They just carried on playing exactly the same way in the second half. So I think that with them having rested their team, they will be the stronger team in extra time and will pip Arsenal to the final. But there are another game going on. I don't know. I know, Mikey, you were watching the Inter Barcelona game. Craig, you said before we came on, you didn't actually see it, but my goodness, that was one of the best knockout Champions League games I've seen in a long time. I haven't even gone to you, Aki, because normally I say, Aki, did you watch the game? You say,
I did watch that. I was surprised that Inter Milan. Inter Milan had a load of chances. To be honest with you, I think PSG versus Barcelona would be a sick final because Barcelona don't defend at all, and I reckon that would be quite a high-scoring game. And Rafinha's goal was amazing as well. To be fair, that power on that strike, or their own goal, but.
Yeah, no, it was just a ridiculous game. The basketball one into the other, loads of chances for both sides. Lamine Yamal, goodness me, what a player he is, Mikey.
Ridiculous quality. There's not been a 17-year-old playing at this level ever. Well, not in our lifetimes. Not Messi, not anybody. No, they weren't doing what he's doing at 17. He's just doing ridiculous stuff. And he's just so natural and swift. Aki, if you just look at the stats, you'll see that at 17, Messi wasn't doing the same thing.
Well, I think he was playing for Barcelona at 17 there.
He wasn't doing the same thing, my friend. Yamal's got 100 caps and Messi had a handful, I'm afraid. Just go and do your research.
But that's because he started when he was 15 or 16, not 17, right? Not like it's his first season.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. At 17, there wasn't another player doing what
at 17, I think Messi was doing what Yamin was doing. At 15, he wasn't. So I'd agree with you on that point.
No, at 17, he wasn't. You can go and look at the statistics as well. It's his madness. Lamine Yamal is in a semi-final running the show. Just give him the ball and he's just wandering past players like they're not there. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was going to say
it's just immense.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
He's mature as well on the pitch. He's so mature in terms of how he plays.
Yeah, the first goal. You know, like obviously we're comparing Messi, same position, same club, etc., left-footed, wide player. There was a time in Messi's career where he could just win a game on his own. He could say, "I'm just gonna go around people and score now." And you're not going to do anything about it. And that's literally what Lamine did with that first goal. It was like, I'm going to score. Doesn't matter how many people you put in front of me. Then there was the one where he got to the byline, chopped back, and then hit the crossbar with that one.
It was a good save.
Yeah. And then there was another one where first time I think it was a pass to be fair, but that hit the stanchion, crossbar and post. Just ridiculous.
Just-
Absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous. And at 17, Aki, nobody else has been doing that I can think of. I can't at the top level. And remember, he won the Euros with Spain as well.
Already.
So at 16, was he 16 then or 17? He would have been
He was
16.
16 in that tournament.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's already won the Euros. Messi made his debut at 17, I believe. At 19, you could probably say he was doing the same sort of stuff, but not at 17. And I can't think of anyone else. Maybe R9, but he was at PSV probably 18.
He just weren't at
20. He wasn't
Barcelona doing it.
at
this
that level. He wasn't doing that at that level. So I can't think of anyone. And Aki, you're an old guy. You should know better.
No, I just remember Messi at the age of 17 playing with Ronaldinho, Eto'o, those guys, and he was still having up teams.
He was, but it wasn't.
But
He wasn't doing it at semi-finals and finals
Rose
and
explained it better
winning
than I
major
did.
tournaments. So
yeah, Rose explained it better than I did. Like Yamal's already won the Euros and was a key instrumental part of that Spain win.
at 16,
He's a key instrumental part of taking Barca to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He's a key instrumental part to taking them to a league title this season. So he's just doing what no other 17-year-old's done in our lifetime.
You say key, but I think Barcelona have quite a few key players. Like Lewandowski, he's scored a lot of goals this
He
season.
didn't play against
I
Inter.
know he didn't, but I'm talking about the season as a whole. And then
He doesn't play for Spain either.
But you've also got Rafinha, who's
Neither of them play
up
for Spain.
who's up for Ballon d'Or this season.
Neither of them play for Spain.
We're not talking
Real
about
gave a
Spain here.
very
We're talking about
rational-
Barcelona. Stay on point. We're talking about
Real gave
Barcelona
a
here.
very
We're not
rational
talking about international
explanation.
football.
Rel gave a very rational explanation as to why Yamal is unmatched as a 17-year-old in terms of his performance levels.
I'll just respond to what you said, though. You said
what did I
that
say?
he's been instrumental for Barcelona. He's been a
He
key
has.
player.
Tell me he
just
hasn't.
said
Tell me he hasn't.
he's been a key amongst other players. So I wouldn't.
So he
say-
has been key and instrumental. Is that what you're saying?
I think you're both right. You can't. What Mikey's saying is that you can have more than one key player.
I didn't say he's the only player that's
But
doing things for them.
That's how it came across. To be
No, it's not. We're focusing on Yamal because he's 17 and it's such an extraordinary feat that he's able to do.
Absolutely.
Rafinha, if we looked back over the season, we could talk about how good Rafinha's been. We could talk about Lewandowski's numbers, but Lewandowski didn't play. Yes, he's got 40 goals this season. We know he's a goal scorer. We've talked about him for years when he should have won the Ballon d'Or and he didn't.
Yep.
It's now about Yamal.
Yeah, and if Yamal hadn't pulled him back in that game because they were losing at that point, I didn't see Rafinha doing much until later on in that match. It was literally Yamal that pulled them back in that game. Yeah,
Feed him.
Yeah.
And remember, this is against Inter as well. That you guys have been eulogizing about for the whole season.
Yeah,
and Italian defense is renowned for their they played 5 at the back. They're renowned for their tightness, and he's cutting them open so easily.
Yeah, even their manager said, Aki, take note. Their manager said after the match, I've never seen a player like Yamal. We had to put 3 defenders on him. And he wasn't joking in terms of having to do that. Because every time he got the ball, they had 3 around him to try and stop him. They still couldn't. And there's no one else on the pitch that would have done that for. So
I'm not saying he's a bad player. So you're taking things out of context. First of all, he's got Moroccan heritage, so I do rate him. He should have played for our team instead of Spain anyway.
So this is where the hatred's coming
from. He's a good player, but I don't buy into hyperbole personally. And I think
where's the hype when it's backed? Where's the hype? This is what we've seen with our eyes.
The game then was it Aki?
No. So in the sense of Barcelona aren't a one-man team. And what I'm hearing is you guys are trying to base.
They were on in that semi-final. In that semi-final, it was the Yamal show. It's a fact.
Watch it again, Aki. Watch it again. I beg you. So it ended up 3-3, and we're going into second leg now. Who do we think is going to prevail? Inter. I haven't checked their results. They were in bad form going into that game. I was actually. Mikey, you touched on the fact that I've been raving about Inter, and I think they're going to get in the final. And then last week, I kind of bit swayed away from what I've been saying and said that Barca were going to smoke them. Having watched that game and seen how Barca defend, I think it's difficult for Barca to smoke anyone. So yeah, I think, but I based on the Yamal show, I think that Barca will have too much for them over the 90 minutes in the second leg, or however long it is. But I think it'll be a close game again. There'll be goals at both ends because Barca they obviously can defend, but the way they defend reminds me of an Australian guy in North London and his team called Tottenham, where they just empty their half of the pitch.
Crazy.
So yeah, I see more goals in that game. So I definitely got that one chalked up to watch Tuesday night. But who do we think is going to prevail? I'm going to say Barca over 90 minutes. Mikey, we'll start with you. What do you reckon?
Yeah, Barca over 90 minutes for me. I've been anti-Inter in terms of them reaching the final from the beginning. They've done well to get to the semi-finals. A lot's been said about the defense, but they conceded a few goals against Bayern. They've conceded a few goals against Barca again, and now concede a few goals again in a return leg. Barca's defense is shocking, which has kept them in it. But Yamal will take over in the second leg. And I think Rafinha will have a better performance as well.
Apparently Lewandowski's training again.
And if Lewandowski's there, if he was there though, instead of Ferran Torres, then it's done.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely done.
For sure. Craig, what are you saying?
You know what? Because if we do make it to the final, I want to play Inter rather than Barca, because the way you guys are speaking up Barca team at the moment and their attack, I didn't see the 3-3 game. I don't want to play them, to be honest.
Bro, you need to watch. If you get some spare time, watch it.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to watch that. But I'm hoping Inter win. I'm going to say Inter.
Hope or think?
Hope. Definitely hope.
And actually, what do you reckon?
I think it'll be a tight game still. I think Inter could have won that game. Like Thuram missed a couple of chances, I think, when it was 1-on-1, or at least one 1-on-1 towards the end. I think Barcelona's going to open, and it's going to be at San Siro. It's going to be, I don't know, man. It's a hard one to predict. I'll stick my neck out and go Barca.
Stick your neck out and agree with us, yeah?
Well, no, Rel's gone with Inter, haven't you? And so
no, I said Barca over 9 minutes.
Craig went with Inter, but
Craig would say Barca. He just wants Inter.
By the way, actually, we don't all look the same. Like he's got a hat on.
I'll go with, I think, maybe 3-2 Barcelona.
3-2 Barca. Okay, so everyone's got Barca except for the hope and wishes from Craig.
And trust me, this season that hope's been nowhere. Every time he hopes, it's done.
a couple predictions right this season. That's about
it. Yeah, you did. PSG, Liverpool. Yeah, we remember.
Yeah. I told you Newcastle are going to smoke you, and they did.
Yeah, broken clock and all that, but yeah, we remember. All right, so we're coming to the end of the pod now. We think that Arsenal, you guys are hoping that Arsenal are going to make their first final since 2006, was it? And it could be a repeat fixture against Barcelona. So all the best to Arsenal and all the best to Barcelona in making that happen. But guys,
hang on a second. Are we not doing Arsenal Bournemouth review? You had some stats for us, didn't you?
I did have some stats, but I didn't think it was worth us adding them.
Nobody's bothered.
No, let's talk about it. It was a good game. It was a good game.
I don't want to relive
Liverpool Chelsea. Have you got stats for Liverpool Chelsea?
We've won the league, mate. You guys are fighting for second place. And remember, City are 3 points behind you guys. And as Rel said, Villa are only 7 points behind. So you guys have got something to play for. We don't.
What does it mean? I don't care.
It means you need to win those games to secure that.
I don't care.
Second place trophy. The second place trophy. That's going to keep Arteta in his role for another year.
Fans, we don't care.
I'll tell us some stats, bro.
Nobody cares. Just for the benefit of Aki, read out some stats.
The stat for you, Aki. Let's have some stats. So, this was actually made me laugh when I saw Jamie Redknapp doing this one, especially when it comes from Jamie Redknapp. No offense, mate.
We're using his stats on here now.
But yeah,
this is not the Nigerian Observer.
Percentage of goals conceded from set pieces and penalties. I love that they put penalties in there because that must have boosted it by some numbers. But anyway, Arsenal are top of those that list. 48% of Arsenal's goals conceded in the Premier League are being from set pieces and penalties. I'd like to know how many penalties is in that stat. What as somebody pointed out, I don't know whether that's necessarily a bad thing because Arsenal don't concede that many goals. And if you need a set piece to make them concede a goal, I don't think that's a bad thing myself. But it does say something about your set piece coach if you're good at attacking them, not necessarily so great as defending them. I don't know. That's one stat for you, Aki. Let's do another one, shall we? Arsenal dropped points. Points dropped from winning positions. Arsenal have dropped 21 points from winning positions. They're ranked 16th in the league. And compared to last season, where you were second in the league in terms of not dropping points from winning positions. So, yeah, that's gone downhill. And that's all I've got for you, Aki.
Cheers, lads. Thanks.
See you next week, guys. Guys, check us out on YouTube. This show, you should be watching it on Tuesday morning. And we obviously have our Instagram and TikTok channels as well. So do catch us on there. We might have Craig either celebrating Arsenal getting into the final or crying and shouting about Ben White and Jurgen Timber at right back. So we'll see which version we get during the week. So check us out on our socials. And then on this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember the chat earlier about whether Arsenal were in for Watkins. Were they in for him? What do we think? Let us know in the comments. See you next week, guys.